Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full body Pilates workout. In today's routine, we're going to be sculpting our abs, arms, glutes, and thighs. I'm going to be using a set of ankle weights. If you have hand weights, you can use those instead, or you can do the entire workout weightless. Even without resistance, you're still going to feel the burn. We are going to be having a warm-up and a cool-down included in this routine. For the cool-down, we're going to be holding some of the stretches for prolonged periods of time to really help the body recover and to build that flexibility. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to place the ankle weights down to the side because we're not going to need them for our warm-up. I'd like you to stand with your feet about shoulder distance apart. We're going to stack the vertebra one on top of the other, plugging the navel in toward the spine. And we're just going to start off by drawing some big circles in the air with those arms. So we're inhaling and exhaling to circle those arms back, really lengthening through the fingers, opening through the chest, getting into that Pilates breath. We breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nicely done. Really reach and open. Lengthen to opposite sides of the room with those fingers. Let's go 3 and 2. Belly to spine as you breathe out. And 1. Bring your hands out in front, palms facing in, arms are at shoulder height. From here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to open arm twist to the right, keeping the hips facing forward, and then open arm twist to the left, looking out at those left fingertips. Sweeping, alternating arms back, plugging navel in, and as I said, keeping those hips facing forward. You've got a nice long neck here. The crown of your head is elevated up toward the ceiling as you rotate around the thoracic spine. Good, try to rotate a little bit further each time, really reach and stretch. And last one, amazing work. Now from here, I'd like you to bring your hands into a prayer position. We're gonna lower and lift. Lower, keeping the torso upright and press up through the heels. So lower, nice wide knees, and then drive up through the heels. Lower and lift. So I'd really like you to focus on tightening the core as you breathe out to lift. Inhale, lower, drive up through the heels and squeeze the glutes and the thighs as you lift. Nice work, lowering and lifting for 3, 2, abs in, and 1. Good. Now we're going to add a rotation. So we're going to lower down and then we're going to lift up and stretch, back to prayer and lift up and stretch. Lifting the heel up off the mat as you reach to the opposite side. Good. Getting a little bit of a rotation in here through the waistline. Lowering, driving up. Really starting to give it a lot of energy as we warm up those hips and those thighs. Good. Stretch and lengthen through the extended leg for 3, 2. Get a bit lower. Last one. And down and lift. Amazing. Now, hands on the hips, feet about hip distance apart. We're going to draw some circles in the air with those knees. Really open the knee up and out to the side, mobilizing the hip joint. Good. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. Stand with your feet about shoulder distance apart and let's just start circling out those hips. Drawing nice big circles with the hips, coming back and pushing the hips forward and sending your bum out behind you as you circle back. Nicely done. Last 2 and final 1. Now we're going to switch directions, bending in the knees. Try not to let those legs lock out. Good, keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Nice smooth circles. Good, really exaggerate the movement. Get into all of those areas in the hip. Good, for 2, abs in, and last 1. Amazing, recenter. Now we're gonna go into a standing cat-cow. So I'd like you to place your hands on either side of your head, really opening through the chest here. Feet are hip distance apart, gentle micro bend in the knees, spine is nice and long. We're going to inhale, curve forward, scooping belly in, and exhale, open and extend the spine. Inhale, curve forward, chin toward the chest. Exhale, open and stretch and lengthen. Inhale, scoop belly in. Exhale, extend and pull those elbows apart. Inhale, fold inward. And exhale, widen those elbows. Let's go 3. Articulating the spine. 2. Stretching and lengthening. And last 1. Open and bring your spine back to neutral. Amazing work. Okay, I'm gonna take a hold of my ankle weights now. If you prefer, you've got your hand weights or you're using no weight at all. We're gonna get into our upper body work. So I'd like you to take a nice wide stance. You can have your toes turned slightly out. Stack the vertebra one on top of the other, plug the navel in, and elevate the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. We're gonna keep our chin parallel with the floor the entire time. So I'd like you to bring your arms out to the sides, palms facing up toward the ceiling. Find stability here through the trunk, and then start to pulse those palms up toward the ceiling. We've got long fingers here, little pulses, pushing the air up toward the ceiling, giving it a lot of resistance, particularly if you're not using weight. You're gonna really wanna work with your body's own resistance here. Straight, strong arms. Firing up those arms and shoulders to begin with here. Good, lengthen through the spine, keep that neck nice and long, and those shoulders down away from your ears. Good, keep pumping those arms up. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Turn your palms so they're facing down toward the mat and continue that movement, but now you're pushing the air, pushing the palms down toward the floor. Again, keeping that neck nice and long here. Core is engaged, working that posture. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Wow, it's already burning and we've only just got started. Firing up those muscles. It's feeling good. Good, keep it up. Let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to take the arms out to the sides, palms facing forward. We're gonna inhale here and exhale, press palms together, squeeze the chest muscles. Open and close the hands. Open, draw your shoulder blades together, so pull those arms back, and then squeeze the chest muscles together as you close those arms. Good, opening and closing. Inhale and tighten the core as you press palms together. Good. Inhale, open. Exhale, push the palms together. Pull the arms apart. Now, as you pull those arms back, I really want you to contract your upper back muscles slightly. Good. Keeping the shoulders down away from the ears, keeping the neck nice and long. Good. Good work. Keep it up. You're doing amazing. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Nicely done. Okay, you can keep your feet wide here, or you can step your feet back into a hip distance apart position with the feet parallel, whatever's more comfortable for you. We want balance across the feet. We want the weight even across the feet, no matter what position we're in. We want to bend at the elbows, chest is open, and then we're gonna push the forearms and the palms together. Open and close. Open and close. So we want to try to keep those elbows and those upper arms at shoulder height. As we open and close, we're giving it energy. We're really squeezing those forearms together. Having them touch between each repetition. Good. I know these are tough. Keep those arms elevated. You're doing great. Stick with it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to maintain that bent arm position, but I'm going to take a side view here because I'm going to hinge from the hips. So I'd like you to come back into that bent arm, cactus arm position, hinging from the hips, plugging your belly in. We want a really nice flat back. Imagine you could position a board on your back on a diagonal, creating that nice flat surface and engaged core. We're gonna lift and pull the elbows in toward the side of the body. Lift and pull the elbows down. Really contracting your upper back muscles as you draw those elbows in. Good, gentle micro bend in those knees. We don't want to be overextending the knees here. Try not to arch the spine here. And try to keep the neck in line with the spine. So growing really nice and tall up through the crown of your head as you pull those elbows down. Activating your upper back muscles, working into your shoulders. Good. For 3, 2, and 1, pull it down. Nice work. Now maintaining that hinge, we're going to bring the palms so that they're facing in toward the body. We're going to lift those elbows, extend the arms, bend and lower. Lift, extend the arms, bend and lower. Lift those elbows, extend the arms, squeeze the backs of the arms, bend and lower. Pull up, extend, bend and lower. As you pull those arms back, I want you to really draw your navel in toward your spine. Again, avoiding that arch in the spine or any rounding in the spine. As we work the backs of the arms, pull those elbows up nice and high, full extension, bend and lower. Contracting the triceps at the top of every lift, really squeezing, working for that strength and definition in the backs of the arms. Good work. We've got 4, 3, 2, pull up and extend back. And last 1, hold it here. Now we're going to lift, pulse, pulse, pulse. So the palms are facing in, the spine is nice and long. Belly plugged in. Pulse those little fingers upward. Good. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lift up for a moment. Just shake out the shoulders a little bit. Take a shoulder roll. And then we're going to get back into position to do a couple more tricep exercises to finish off with this upper body portion. You're doing so well. Stick with it. So let's plug the navel in, hinge from the hips. This time we're coming up, palms facing in, we're lowering, and then we're rotating so the palms are facing up. So palms facing in, bring it down, palms facing up, bring it down. So switching between the 2 hand positions, squeezing those triceps, quick split second pause and hold at the top of every lift. Really making sure that the tension stays in those triceps. Good. Pull up and push up through the palms. Good. Push the air away as you lift those palms up toward the ceiling. Good. Don't forget that micro bend in the knees. Sometimes when we're working the upper body, we can be tensing other areas of the body. So we want to maintain really good form. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, last one. Now we're going to come up with palms facing up toward the ceiling and pulse for 20. So rotate those palms, lift those arms, straight, strong arms, and pulse. Good. Little controlled pulses, lengthening through the spine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, nicely done. Now from here, I'm going to drop my weight off to the side. And we're going to come to the end of the mat and just roll out the shoulders. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, from here we'll walk out into a downward dog. So I'd like you to roll down one vertebra at a time, letting your hands hang, letting your head hang. Gentle micro bend in those knees. Just enjoy this back body stretch for a moment here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now we're going to bend a little bit more deeply into the knees and start walking the hands forward, bringing the wrists below the shoulders, creating a nice flat line with the body, and then pushing the hips up and back into a downward dog. Stretch it out here, breathe deeply, bend the knees as much as you need to get that lift and flatten out the upper back. Really scoop your navel in, lift the hips a bit higher. Amazing. Now from here, we're going to come forward into plank. Hold in plank. Bring the right knee in toward the chest. Bring the left knee in. And then pike back up into your downward dog. Good. Same thing again. Right knee in, scoop belly in, left knee in. Nice flat line with the body. And then pike the hips up and back. Nicely done. Forward. 1. Abs in. 2. And pike up. Stretching through the spine. 4 more sets like this. Nice. Really powering up through the shoulders and the core as you bring those knees in toward the chest, and then stretching and lengthening into that down dog. Good. Last set. 1, 2, and bring it up. Now we're going to come forward into our plank and move into some continuous mountain climbers, bringing the knees in toward the chest, coming forward, holding in your plank, lifting through the abdominal wall, pushing mat away so you're nice and broad across the shoulders. Let's start bringing those knees in toward the chest. Alternating sides. In through the nose with that breath and out through the mouth. Tightening the core with every exhale. Good. Maintaining that strong plank position. Let's go 10, 9, 8. Lift your core. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soften your knees down to the mat. Take them nice and wide. And then push back into child's pose. Stretching and lengthening through your tailbone. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Nicely done. Now we're going to move into position to do some more abdominal exercises. I'm going to put my weights on my ankles for this. Again, this can be done without weight and you're still going to get in a great ab workout. If at any point you're using the weights and it gets too much and you're not able to perform these exercises with good form, I want you to remove them, please. Better to do them with good form than to do them with weight sloppily. Okay, so let's move down to the mat, 1 vertebra at a time. Relaxing head, neck, and shoulders down on the mat. We're going to interlace our fingers and take them behind the head, Nice wide elbows. The legs are hip distance apart. The spine is in neutral. From here, we're going to begin with some crunches. So we'll inhale and exhale, draw the right knee in toward the chest and lower. Left knee in toward the chest and lower. So exhaling to peel up and inhale to lower down. So I really want you to connect with your core here. As you breathe out, you're tightening your abdominal wall, you're flattening your abs down toward the mat, and you're pressing your low back into the floor. Good. Imagine you could imprint your spine onto your mat every time you lift. Keep those elbows nice and wide, head is supported. Good, you can move even more slowly as needed. Just focus on that core engagement. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to flatten the abs and lift. For 3 and 2 and final 1. Nice work. Now we're going to add a leg extension to that crunch. So we're inhaling here and we're exhaling to come up, extend the leg, bend the leg, and lower head, neck, and shoulders, lower the foot. Other leg, bring it in, extend, bend, and lower. Good. So with that ankle weight, you're working your thighs and your legs here as well. We're also really challenging the lower abdominals as we extend that leg out long and draw it back in. Good. So I want you to really focus on pulling belly button to spine as you curl and crunch up. With the crunch, we're working the upper abs too. Extend through pointed toe, bend and lower. Lift, lengthen, bend and lower. Amazing work. Stick with it. Nice. Moving slowly and precisely with control and purpose. Good. We've got 3 and 2 and last 1. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to add a crossover to get into those obliques. So we're inhaling here and we're exhaling, pressing low back into the mat and bringing right elbow to left knee. And then we're crossing over and bringing right elbow to left knee. So we're crossing and crossing, alternating sides. Now I really want you to focus on bringing that elbow up as high as you can to meet that knee. We don't want the knee crossing over the body here. We want to keep the knee in line with the hip. So you're keeping that lower body aligned. The rotation is happening around the rib cage. Good. Pick that right shoulder blade up and then pick that left shoulder blade up. And as you do so, you're pressing the low back into the mat and working deep into that waistline. Pick it up for 5 and 4. Lift a bit higher through that shoulder. 3, 2, working those obliques so well. And last 1. Now, same thing again with the leg extension. We're going to peel up, cross over, extend, bend, and lower. Peel up, extend, bend, and lower. Good. So we're just doing the same movement again, but this time crossing over with that elbow. So we're continuing to work the waistline. Amazing work. Keep those elbows nice and wide. Cross over, lower back is engaged with the mat. No need to rush this one. Take it slow. Make it count. Full extension through pointed toe. Nicely done. Cross. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Lift up a little higher. Last 4 sets. So good. Abs are burning here. I can definitely feel it. Hope you can too. And last one. And lower down. Amazing work. Let's bring our knees in toward our chest for a moment, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're now going to roll ourselves up partway so that we can prop ourselves up on our elbows or on our forearms. So we've got the elbows pulled back behind and the forearms are parallel. Fingers are spread, palms and forearms are pressing down into the mat. So no slumping here. We really want to be pushing up through those forearms and elbows so that the spine is long and the chest is nice and open. Try to maintain that throughout this entire series. We're going to point through the toes and turn the toes slightly out, heels turned slightly in. We're going to lift the right leg and lower. Lift the right leg and lower. Inhale to lift, exhale, pulling your navel in towards your spine as you lower that leg with control. Good, and last one like this. If that's the right level of challenge for you, I want you to continue with that. If not, if you want to pick up the level of challenge for the last 6, we're going to hold that opposite leg suspended above the mat. So we're lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering, belly to spine. Keep pushing mat away up through those forearms. Good. 3, belly to spine. 2, working that core and control. And 1. Nicely done. Keeping those toes turned out, heels turned in. We're going over onto the opposite leg. Lifting and lowering. Get into that breathing pattern in through the nose and out through the mouth to lower with control. Toes are pointed. All the muscles in the leg are switched on. Nicely done. If you want to pick up the level of challenge for the last 6, elevate that right leg, lifting and lowering. 4, chest stays nice and open. 3, I know it's tough. 2, you're doing so well. Last 1, and soften feet down to the floor. Good. Now from here, we're going to bring the knees in toward the chest. Knees over the hips. We're going to widen the knees, keeping the inside of the feet glued together. No slumping here. Nice long spine. We're going to extend the legs, squeezing them together, and then bend, bringing them back in, widening the knees. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. So I want you to inhale as you extend. Exhale, pull belly to spine as you draw those knees back in. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, squeeze the thighs and exhale. Work that core. If you want more of a challenge, take the legs out at a lower angle. Stick with it. We've got 5. Abs in. 4. Good. 3. Tightening the core. 2. And final 1. Bring the knees in. Now from here, we're going to go into some slow flutter kicks. Options. Easier option. You're going to alternate lifting legs, tapping your heels down to the mat. Harder variation, you've got your legs extended and you're lifting and lowering, keeping them lifted. So it looks like this. Let's begin. Nice and slow. Belly to spine. It's tough with these ankle weights. Thighs are working hard too. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'd like you to bring your hand to the back of one of your calves or your thigh if you can't quite reach your calf. Roll back. Either keep your head, neck, and shoulders lifted or lower head, neck, and shoulders to the floor. We're going to go into a single leg stretch. Shoulders down away from your ears. Good. pulling the leg gently in toward the chest as you tighten the core on that exhale. Let's go 7, 6, belly to spine, 5, stretching the back of the leg. It'll help warm up the legs for our lower body work, as well as finishing off strong with those abs. And last one, little final challenge here, micro flutter kicks. So we're gonna bring the legs up, hands come behind the head, and we're going to kick the legs in the air. Abs in. Good, let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both legs slowly down together. Amazing work. From here, we're gonna roll over onto the stomach. Take the hands on either side of the shoulders and peel up into a cobra, or all the way up onto those palms for a stretch in those abdominals. Regulate the breath here. We just worked our core so hard. We need a stretch and a bit of a breather. Inhale and exhale, melting those shoulders down away from the ears for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Slowly exhale and lower down to the mat. Amazing. From here, we're going to switch our focus onto the lower body. So I would like you to prop yourself up on your hand or your outstretched arm. We're going to tighten the core here, lengthen through the spine, stack the hips, knees, and ankles. We're going to place the opposite hand down on the mat for support, pick the legs up and hinge from the hips, so we're in a pike position. We're going into some leg lifts here. So we're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. So just mobilizing the hip joint here. Inhale up, exhale, pulling your navel in towards your spine as you lower. You have the option of keeping that lower leg straight or bent, like so, if that gives you more stability. Good, lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering, really plugging belly in, relaxing shoulders, and moving with the breath. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna hold at hip height and we're gonna lift the leg and lower. Small pulses, never lowering more down than hip height. Good. Never lowering further down than hip height. That makes more sense. Good, let's go 10, 9, 8, working those glutes, thighs, and hips. 6, 5, 4, abs in. 3, relax those shoulders. 2, and 1. Bring the leg forward. We're going to create a bridge either in front or behind that lower leg so we can work the inner thigh. So we're gonna lift and lower the inside of the foot up toward the ceiling, really squeezing the inner thigh and not letting the leg rest all the way down to the mat. Keep that foot and leg hovering above the floor before squeezing that thigh and lifting the leg once again. Good. Breathe through it. Extra tough with these ankle weights, but we're doing amazing work, strengthening the inner thighs, strengthening the outer thighs for 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna hold it there and we're gonna pulse up for 15. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Lift an inch higher and then lower down. Nice work. Now we're going to come up into an all-fours position. I'm going to drop my right forearm down to the floor. And I'm going to lift that left knee up into a fire hydrant. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Squeeze the thigh, engage the glute as you lift that knee up. Good. Lift a little higher for 5, 4, 3, belly to spine, 2, relax those shoulders down away from your ears, and 1. Now we're going into a combo move here. We're gonna lift and then lift the leg out behind. Lift to the side and out behind. Lift the side and lift that knee up nice and high out behind you. Good, navel is plugged in. Moving between the two positions. Now as you kick that leg up, I really want you to engage your core so that you're not overarching the spine. Don't lift your leg quite as high if you feel a real compression in the lumbar spine. You want to be feeling it in the glutes and the thighs here. Good. For 4, 3, 2, you're doing great. And last one, lift and lower down. Let's take the knees nice and wide. Keep the hips elevated and soften forehead down to the mat. Stretching and lengthening, taking a breather, inhaling and exhaling for 3 and 2 and 1. Great. Okay, from here we're going to come over onto the other side. So let's roll down onto the side body, get really nice and comfortable and long, propping the head up or extending it out on outstretched arm. Stacking the hips, plugging the navel in, lift those legs, pike, bringing them forward, and lifting and lowering. Inhale up, exhale down. Lift and lower. Every time you lower down, I want you to move with resistance, as though moving your leg down through wet cement. Never just letting it drop down to the floor. Good. Let's go 6, 5, relax those shoulders, lengthen through the neck. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna hold at shoulder height. We're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower. Last 10, plug navel in, find that stability through the trunk. Relax the shoulders, lengthen through the neck as you go. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Make that bridge either in front of or behind the lower leg. Lift up, stretching and lengthening, and then lift and lower, squeezing the inner thigh to get that lift. Keeping the leg lifted the entire time, never lowering it all the way down to the floor unless you really need a break. If you need a break, lower it down, take a breath, and then start back up again. Good. So we're strengthening our inner thighs, we're working the muscles that support the knees, all good things. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Hold, pulsing up for 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Amazing work. Bring the legs together. Come into your all fours position. Drop your left forearm down to the floor. And we're going to take that right knee up to the side, coming into those fire hydrants. Squeezing that side booty, strengthening that outer thigh. Plugging navel in, nice long spine, last 10, 9, 8, belly to spine, 7, working the core and the waistline, as well as those glutes. 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Now we're lifting to the side and then kicking up and behind. Open and lift. Open to the side and lift. Point the toe. Lift and kick back. Remember, not kicking so high that you're compressing your lower back. Also really engaging the core as you lift that leg. Bringing that big toe up toward the ceiling. Nicely done. Last 5, 4, glutes and thighs are working hard. 3, nice long neck. 2, and 1. Lower the knee down to the mat. Take the knees nice and wide and push back into a child's pose. Stretching and lengthening here. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, from here we're going to come forward, bring the knees back to parallel, curl the toes, and we're going to pike the hips up, coming into a downward dog. Really stretch and lengthen through the spine here. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now start to walk the hands back toward the feet, hanging in a forward folded position. Head hangs heavy, arms hang heavy, gentle micro bend in the knees. Tuck your tailbone, engage your core, and slowly start to ripple up through the spine, restacking each vertebra as you go. Chin lifts last. Nicely done. Now we're going to go into some standing lower body work. We're going to start off working our left outer thigh and glute. So I'm going to stand with my right foot below my right hip, gentle bend in that right knee, creating a nice column of support running up through the right side of the body. From here, I'm going to take that left leg over to the left, touch the toes down to the mat. Open to the left and touch the toes down. Now, if you want to hold on to a chair or a wall or a countertop here for balance and stability, please do that. Good. Tightening the core to maintain that stability and balance. Trying not to lean over to your supporting side. Working into the thighs and glutes as you take that leg away, and then slowly and with control, bring it back in. Good. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to keep the foot hovering above the floor the entire time for 10, 9, really working that balance and stability, 8, abs in, 7, nice long neck, and shoulders down away from your ears, maintaining that balance. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold and we're going to pulse that leg up. Little controlled pulses. Good. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, almost lost my balance at the end there. Great work. Okay, from here, I'm going to turn and hold on to my wall for support. I'm just going to place my forearm on the wall. And I'm going to continue to work that left leg, this time working the gluteus maximus muscle. So I'm going to extend the left leg out long behind, stabilizing myself through my right foot and leg, gentle micro bend in the right leg. We're going to extend and lower. Squeeze the bum, lift the leg, and then tap toes down to the mat. Keep the toes pointed. Again, really plugging navel in here. Being careful not to arch the spine like that as you lift the leg. You want to keep the spine in neutral. Nice long spine, isolating this work in the glutes. Good. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Now from here, I'm going to flex the foot, pull the toes back toward the shin, extend the leg, lengthen through the spine, abs engaged, and we're going to pull that heel toward the bum. Extend and bend. As we pull that heel toward the bum, we really want to be contracting the hamstrings. Good. Let's go 10, 9, amazing work. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Now from here, we're going to bend the knee, bring it up, and then lengthen. Bring the knee in and push back through the heel. So the knee bends and then we straighten and kick the heel out behind. Nice. Maintaining that balance through that supporting leg. You should feel the work in the supporting leg as well, definitely. Full extension of that leg, keep the foot flexed. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold it here, keeping the foot flexed, and pulse that heel up toward the ceiling. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Amazing. Now we're going to do the other side. So I'd like you to turn and face me. Legs are hip distance apart. We're transferring our weight into the left foot. Gentle bend in that left knee. Find that balance, stability, core strength as we pick that leg up to the right and then lower, tapping the toe down to the mat, finding that stability and repeating. Nicely done. Amazing work. For 6, 5, navel in. 4, nice long neck. 3, 2, and 1. Now, again, you can hold on to a chair or some support as needed. We're going to float that foot up off the floor and then take it away, keeping the balance through that left side. Good. I'm feeling a little less stable on one side. It's important to note. Good. Just find that balance and stability. It's also probably because we just worked that left leg. So be patient with yourself. Hold on to something as needed. I've got my wall behind me. 3, I'm shaking. 2, and 1. Now take the leg out to the side. Nice work, let's pulse. Little controlled pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Nicely done. Okay, I'm going to take my right forearm to the wall. Plugging navel in. I'm going to extend the right leg out behind. Hips are square and facing the wall here. So both hips are facing forward as we lift and lower that leg. Squeezing the right glutes. Good. I've got that gentle micro bend in my left leg. Left knee. Core is tight, shoulders are down away from the ears, working that posture as we strengthen the glutes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here, flex the foot, pull the heel to the bum. Nice, really contract that hamstring as you do so. Keep the foot flexed. 7, 6, 5, maintaining that balance. 2, and 1. Good. Bring the knee in and kick the leg out behind. In and lengthen through the heel, keeping that foot flexed. Last 10, 9, 8, push out behind you with that heel. 6, full extension of the leg between each repetition. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kick it out, hold it there, and pulse. Good work. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Amazing work. Okay, from here, I'm actually going to remove the ankle weights because we're not going to need them for the rest of the workout. So I'm going to place those off to the side, and we're going to go into some squat holds before moving into our well-deserved cool down and stretch. So I'd like you to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Weight is evenly distributed across the feet. We want to plug the navel in, grow up nice and tall through the spine. We're going to lower into a squat and lift. So as we lower into that squat, we want to keep the legs tracking in alignment. So we want those knees, hips, and ankles lined up. We're sending the bum out behind and then pushing up through the heels. Good. Tightening the core as we do so, creating a nice flat back. If the knees are splaying out to the side or knocking in, maybe you need to take a more shallow squat and focus on form and stability. Build up the strength before you're ready to start squatting a little lower. Good. Squeeze the glutes as you push up through the heels. For 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold it here, and we're just going to start pulsing. I've got my hands in a prayer position. You can have your arms out, arms overhead, whatever's more comfortable for you. Nice flat back. Weight in the heels. Keep pulsing here. You've got this. Tighten that core. Focus. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. I want you to get a little lower if you can. Keep breathing. Get a little bit lower. We've got 10 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Ooh, it burns. 2, and 1. Amazing work. Shake out those legs. You can draw some circles in the air or rock from side to side with those knees. Good. Cooling it down. For 3, and 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, we're going to come to the back of the mat. Lift and lengthen. Deep inhale and exhale. Fall forward. Walk your hands forward. Coming into a plank. And then we're going to fold the right leg under the body. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to hold these stretches for a prolonged period of time. We're going to hold each stretch for 30 seconds. So I've got my timer here. So we're not rushing to move anywhere. We're really enjoying these nice stretches. Holding a stretch for 30 seconds can help you to maintain your flexibility. And if you want to build on your flexibility, holding stretches for upward of 1 minute is a really good idea. Lengthening through the spine, slowing down that breath. Amazing work. Let's switch sides, step back into your plank, and then fold opposite leg under the body. Really enjoying this pigeon pose, opening up in the hip, lengthening through the spine, and drawing nice deep inhales and slow controlled exhales. For 2 and 1. Nice work. We're going to move down onto the mat, rolling down one vertebra at a time. And we're just going to cross the right leg over the left, interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, and hug that knee in toward the chest. Relaxing through the shoulders, pressing the tailbone down onto the floor to stretch the lumbar spine. Gently lower down and switch the crossing of your legs, drawing that right knee in toward the chest. Breathing deeply in through the nose and slowly exhaling through the mouth. As we stretch those glutes and open through the hip. Shoulders relaxed. I'd like you to take your hands behind your thighs, gently roll up, lift your arms up above your head, and fold over your lower body. You can take a hold of your calves, your ankles, or your feet if you can reach them. And just pulling yourself into a deep back body stretch. Take a deep breath here and try to fold a little bit more deeply into your stretch. Elevate up. I'd like you to bring your right foot in towards your left inner thigh, lengthening out through the left thigh, lifting up, and folding over the left leg. Try to keep your right bum cheek down on the floor, feeling the stretch running all the way up from the right hip, all the way through the right side body as we stretch into the left leg. Relaxing into it, pulling yourself a little bit more deeply into the stretch for 2 and 1. Lifting it up, crossing it over, elevate and fold. Keeping that left bum cheek down on the floor. Breathing deeply. Deepening the stretch as you exhale. Amazing. We're going to release that. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Hinge from the hips. Coming forward into a butterfly stretch. Drawing those knees down toward the mat. Opening up through the hips and stretching those inner thighs. If you'd like to apply a little bit of pressure to the knees, you can fold a little bit more deeply. Amazing. I'm going to cross my legs. You can kneel if that's more comfortable for you. I'm going to take my right arm across my chest, stretching out the shoulder. Breathing and lengthening through the spine as we stretch the shoulder. Apply a little bit more pressure to the back of the arm if that feels comfortable, just to deepen the stretch a little bit more. And we're going to switch sides. Take the left arm across the chest. Breathing. Nice, deep, restorative breaths. Good. Stretching a little bit more deeply by applying a little bit more pressure to the back of the arm, really stretching deep into that shoulder. A nice work. Now we're going to come into puppy pose. So take the knees nice and wide. Walk your hands out in front. And I want you to really continue to stretch your shoulders here. So lengthen. Imagine your spine is being pulled in opposite directions. A piece of string is pulling your tailbone out long behind you. Creating space between each of the vertebrae for 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to bring ourselves into a kneeling or a cross-leg position. And we're just going to finish off with some shoulder rolls. So let's breathe it out, lifting those shoulders and rounding them down and back, melting away tension. For 3 and 2 and final 1. Amazing work. You did so well. You worked all of your muscle groups. You're stretched, you're strong. You should feel proud of yourself. I really enjoyed working out with you today, and I look forward to moving again with you next time. See you soon.